What is love? Love is like that emotional, spiritual thing inside that you can't define. From afar it looks like a danger sign, but as you get closer it's almost like you're looking into an angel's eyes. Because they make you forget about everything that has ever hurt you and the pain inside. And smile as bright as the sunshine, even though it may rain at times. Love is sacred and love is sanctified. It is what brought peace to the world in ancient times. Love is the same energy that created the universe and paints the sky. Love is the reason that birds sing at night and angels fly. Love is intellectual conversations that make our brains collide. Love can really make you go insane at times. Love is the thing inside that makes anger die. Love told me to love myself and then I became sublime. Love even gave life to Frankenstein. Love just can't be explained sometimes. Love is this and everything that I can't describe. Love is everything. Everything is love. Everything is love.
You know, you get a galaxy-sized object inside you that you can access. And there are the mountains, the rivers, the jungles, the dynastic families, the ruins, the planets, the works of art, the poetry, the sciences, the magics of millions upon millions of worlds. And this is apparently who we each are. We're a little bit of eternity sticking into three-dimensional space and for some reason occupying time in a monkey body.
You know, love is a beautiful thing. I mean, like, I love being in love, especially like as an artist. I love creating, and I love creating new moments, and I love creating sometimes weird moments that are different, that are unordinary. So I love being in love, and I love sharing love, and I love giving, and I love catering to. Like, I'm an ocean of love, and I come in waves, and sometimes the waves are too strong. You know what I mean? But there's nothing like love. I wouldn't trade love for the world. Love is spiritual. Love is an art. Yeah, I mean, you understand? It's just my take on it.
But when you turn your eyes then inward, you discover the birthright, the existential facts out of which this particular existence emerged. And it's a great secret and a great comfort, because it means, you know, mystery didn't die with the fall of Arthur or the fall of Atlantis or the fall of anything. Mystery is alive in the moment, in the here and now. It just simply lies on the other side of a barrier of courage, and it isn't even that high a barrier. It just is a barrier high enough to keep out the insincere and the misdirected. But for those who will claim it, in the midst of the historical chaos of the late 20th century, they become the archaic pioneers. They become the first people to carry the Ouroboros serpent around to its own tail and to make it closure. And to the degree that any one of us has this connection back to the archaic in our life, it makes where we have been make a lot more sense, and it makes where we're going seem a lot more inviting. Which it means,
like, love is intellectual conversations that make our brains collide. Love can really make you go insane at times. Love is the thing inside that makes anger die. Love told me to love myself and then I became sublime. Love even gave life to Frankenstein. Love just can't be explained sometimes. Love is this and everything that I can't describe. Love is everything. Everything is love.
Peace to the east, the west, the north, and the south. Blissful. Oh, I was gonna keep going. Blissful. 11, 11, 11, 11. We have entered into a separate vortex. There was a vortex that was open, family. I absolutely am so excited that we are all going to interact and share this level of raising into another vibrational dimension. And I will say this, it was so interesting. First, let me give a shout out, big up to all those who are joining today for the 11 vortex. entry. I won't say activation entry. We entered, most of us entered into another level of consciousness. And what's interesting about this is I woke up at exactly 1:11 on 11/11/11. It was interesting because my eyes opened and I had my clock on the side, and I didn't understand why I was waking out of my dream. And as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw 111, knowing that it was 11/11/11/11. Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited to have this broadcast as we have the dragons, the heat in California. Now I will say this because I don't want to act too excited, but the dragons are the reason, for my intel from the Andromedans, it is the dragons that are incinerating North California right now. It is the dragons that were asleep that are now causing those fires. We could not figure out, I personally thought it was governmentally invoked or provoked, rather. I personally thought it was the government trying to create fires to cause more mayhem and you know, and issues. But it's interesting that there is one particular dragon that is causing the North California fires, to my intel. And what's interesting about that is that it's doing it to a dark Kabbalist. From what I know, there's underground Satanist and Luciferian temples on that particular ley line. It's a vortex where the Satanists utilize it for a lot of diabolical rituals. So big up to the dragon and those interacting with the dragons coming into, well, now we're coming into their realm of existence. They've always been around, but once we get to a certain level of consciousness, remember they exist in the higher realms, and these are ancients. These are reptilian type beings that coexisted in time when there were gods walking on the planet. So big up to the dragons, incinerating all the dark Kabbalists. For those who are in that line of fire, literally, I send you healing and protection. For those who are unfortunately in the realm of being affected by those fires. So I do want to say that because there are a lot of our family who are in those areas, and I'm wishing you safety and for you to be able to safely find somewhere sanctuary during this time of the perpetual cleanse that's going on. So big up, family. I know you're all feeling the vortex. I entered into another vortex that when I woke up and saw the 111, and then I went back to lie down to go to sleep, I knew that I had permeated through the vortex and entered into another realm of existence. I know many of you are feeling it. Some people couldn't even sleep last night. I heard the phone inside texting to the point where I had to turn off the phone because a lot of my people were awake. They could not sleep because they could feel the energies, the waves coming in, the amazing energetic upgrading that's happening to you as we even speak now. So yeah, you didn't sleep, Amy. It's, so family, before we even get into full conversation, let's do our connectiveness. We like to connect to one another on a different geographical ley line. So you know how we do shout outs real quick. We're doing this. I always like this to create an energetic field. This is how we do. So shout out where you're calling from, where you're from, where your ley line, where you're sitting on your vortex right now. And we could start it off like that. Let's see who's in the house. We've got Queens in the house, Toronto, Canada represent. What's good? I got Orlando right here representing. We've got Georgia, Philadelphia, Philly's in the house, Toronto, Oklahoma, Texas, Houston, Detroit, D-Town in the house. What up, Mississippi? D. Griffin in the house. Hey, Elisa, Detroit representing Tampa. Wait, I have to get this right. Humboldt County, California. Big up to you, Tennessee representing. Phoenix in the house. Massachusetts representing. Lexington, South Kakalaki. Phoenix in the house. Indiana, Netherlands coming in. Colorado, Detroit, D-Town in the house. East Haven, Connecticut. What's up? Yucatan representing. Ohio, Texas. You guys are going fast. Flint, Michigan, Washington State, Virginia, UK representing. Cali, Fort Fontana, Faloca, Spain is in the house. New Jersey, Atlanta, Denmark, Houston. Nibiru in the house. What's up, Planet X? Utah representing. Los Angeles. Germany's in the house. Shakespeare, Minnesota's in the house. Las Vegas, Fresno, California. Poughkeepsie, New York. I know where you are. Houston representing. NYC was good. New York is in the house. Virginia's in the house. Oh my goodness. Minneapolis in the house. Florida's in the house. Wakanda. Wakanda forever. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the house. I haven't seen Pittsburgh for a while. Sweden representing Louisiana. I need some hot sauce. Louisiana. Little Rock, Arkansas. Bigatora Native Indigenous Aborigine in Arkansas. Big up to our family. Maryland's in the house. Pittsburgh's in the house. Florida's in the house. Woo! I know it's going so fast. Nashville. Be grateful. My first language is French and I speak really fast. Canada, San Diego, Florida, UK represent. What up, UK? North Kakalaki, North Carolina, Leesburg, Florida, Mississippi, Memphis, Montana. Montana's in the house. I know you guys say Montana. I say Montana. Doesn't it sound more sultry when I say that? Louisiana's in the house. Houston's in the house. What's good? Columbus, Ohio represent. Wisconsin, Lithuania, Europe is in the house. Connecticut's in the house. Washington's in the house. Ah, vous parlez français aussi, que you're créole, right? What you parlez français aussi? KC in the house. Kentucky's in the house. D-Town. What up with D-Town? D-Town, you guys are, what's up, D-Town? You guys are really coming in strong, D-Town. Nabucca, Darius, Nubucha, Dachaze, Dominican Republic, DR's in the house. Scotland in the house. Iowa, Oregon's in the house. Nebraska, Berkeley, California, Toronto, Arkansas, Maryland. So I usually go until I hit Africa. I haven't seen Africa. Bronx, New York is in the house. St. Lucia's in the house. Cincinnati, Charlotte, Yonkers in the house. UK's in the house. Where's my Africano diaspora? San Diego's in the house. Nova Scotia, Canada's in the house. Atlantis is in the house. Where's my Africano family? I think we're on, remember, I need to hit Buffalo's in the house. What's good? Seattle, Denver, Tampa, because when we hit either, L'Afrique, which is in French is Africa. When we hit L'Afrique, Jamaica's in the house. Brooklyn, BK is in the house. Or we hit Australia. I can kind of make sure that our lines are perfectly hitting all the way across geographically. Senegal, thank you, Senegal. Pretty is in the house. And Brazil, okay, we hit the ley line. Niagara Falls, okay. Pangaea is in the house. That's right, Vincent, thank you. Cape Town, thank you. Wales is in the house. South Carolina, Chicago, okay, family, Philly. Whatever, because I like to make sure when we do our protective ley lines, when we interconnect to one another, we do it perfectly across the globe. So I know when we hit Africa, we've gone all the way around. And usually we get Vietnam, China, but they're usually on a totally different time. They're 24 hours different. Australia's in the house. There we go. Egypt's in the house. They had to come in. Haiti's in the house. Ça passe, Egypt, Luxor is in the house. Dallas is in the house. Okay, Belize. So family, again, if you're just joining us for the broadcast, blissful 11. Okay, we're still Senegal. Represent Parlez français, Senegal. Senegal speaks French as well. C'est vrai? Right? Yeah. My Senegalians speak French as well, right? So listen, family, we've hit the 1111, which is a vortex. We are now not only experiencing aspects of being in 5D, we are. Thoughts are things. Everything is manifesting almost instantaneously. Be mindful of the things you think about and your thoughts. Because if you're thinking about anything naughty or something that's diabolical or something that you really don't really want to keep, but you just maybe have a moment, be mindful to keep, hey, Paso, California's in the house. Be careful of the thoughts that you have, because right now everything is instantaneously manifesting. And a lot of your abilities are all online. Everybody's abilities are online. Whatever you do is online. If you're telepathically astute, it's full blown. Thank you, Tiffany. If you are a blinker, and I don't know if you've listened to the show, if you've been part of FleurBrun's platform for a while, blinker is someone who's able to blink in and out of different realities. Some of you are blinkers, which I've seen you in the ether blinking in and out. Some of you aren't able to quite control it, but I can really appreciate the fact that your ability is showing up. Some of you are actually able to mind readers and mind infiltrators. So be mindful if you are one of those. As you know, if you're able to read minds, remember you're able to go and also change someone's mind. So be mindful. Hopefully many of you, which I've seen a few of you who are at the mystery schools in the other side. So some of you are actually attending or are newbies, are new students. Big up to the new students who are in the mystery schools and the ethers. We have some new students that are actually showing up in the different schools and mystery schools that are on, actually, they're in different ley lines, but they're not all on the same timelines. So some of you are actually in the schools because your abilities have now come online. In the realm of matrix, and the occultists know this, whenever there is a notation that your abilities are showing up full blown, you will already be, the administrators will go and, we call them seers or administrators. I call them administration. They will go and see how strong your abilities are, and maybe unconscious to you in your subconscious, you may know this already, but they will also put you into the schools that are applicable to the abilities that you have to help to cultivate it, because everybody will be likened to the beings that we were previously before the Dark Fall, the colonization of diabolical reptilian draconians and insectilians. We got to give props to the insectilians that are doing things on this planet too, because everybody talks about the Dracos, but it's not only the draconians that have come here and colonized. There's numerous groups of beings have come. Hey, Bakersville, California. But there are insectilians that don't get credit because they have the ability to keep themselves quite covert. So I say big up to them. So, oh yeah, so I wanted to give a shout out to those who are being newbies in the mystery schools. I'm so excited that we are now able to utilize all of the tools necessary to be able to create, co-create, actually no, let me retract that. Create the reality that is in your alignment, that your life's purpose that you chose to come here for. A lot of you have been doing the groundwork. You've been clearing. If you know, I've been, what is this, my 2.5 week of fasting on raw. So I've been raw. So many of you know I've been raw for a while. I've been off coffee. This is my moringa tea. I make my own moringa soursop tea. So I do my own tea. So I've been clean and cleansed, family. Even myself, I had to purge even the decaf coffee because there was a call in me to kind of clear everything up. So what I ended up doing was clearing out even the decaf coffee, because for the 11/11, I wanted my temple to be as clean as possible. I wanted to be able to take in these energies without any sort of, I wouldn't have to filter it out, or it wouldn't take so long. So I appreciate going raw. I go raw. Many of you know me for years. I've gone raw I've gone on and off raw for over 10 years, or maybe even 12. It might be longer now, over 12 years. So for that reason, it's a wonderful thing to do, and it's so yummy. So, and also for those who are always asking me to cook, I don't cook. Obviously, I'm prepare. I do I do everything. I'm an island Creole, and I love to make all these wonderful, masterful dishes. So, you can check me out on Patreon, and I do every Tuesday now on Patreon. You get to see a different dish that I prepare for my raw. So you get to actually see some of the preparation. I think I'll do one. The one that I will do on YouTube is the one that you all want to see, is the sea moss. The sea moss, it's a West Indian drink that we drink, but sea moss, it's like a beautiful shake. It's really creamy, it's yummy. So I'll do my sea moss drink live on regular YouTube, and then I'll do every Tuesday, I'll do a raw dish for everyone on my Patreon. I gotta give my Patreon some love. So big up to all those. So who's in the house? Let me see who's in the house. What's interesting about also this vortex, not only have the energies became more energetically heightened. Remember, we're still waiting. Remember, we're still waiting for this event that is on its way. You are feeling, and it's permeating through the different timelines and dimensions. So that isn't here yet. Many people are asking, when's the other event? The rainbow event happened in March. When's the other event? I personally know that it's already on its way. You're feeling the permeation through the dimensions, and I've given you hints on the particular day that I personally know it's going to happen on, for most, okay? Because for others, even the rainbow energy that came through, people who consciously felt it was a few people, but remember, time doesn't exist. in the way that we've been taught. So remember, time overlaps. So past, present, and future are all overlapping. So whether if I experienced it in March and someone else experiences it at maybe a different year, it doesn't matter because time is overlapping on one another. So a lot of people are like, why didn't I experience the rainbow event? It's not a matter of time you did. It's when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Everyone will feel this, especially this upcoming event, which is coming with full-blown waves. Like, you're going to feel this and you'll be able to see it. It's more tangible than the rainbow. The rainbow is more galactically. This one is coming from inner Earth. This one is the Earth is creating this event, and this is something that she always does during certain cycles. So you're going to be able to tangibly see, feel, taste, touch this one. And that's why I say it's time for us to be really, I don't even really have to tell you to prepare. This is something that every one of you, I know, for you to even be on here with FleurBrun, I already know that you've all done the work and are perpetually doing the work. And you're doing, like I said, you're doing the fasting on and off just to clear your temples. Many of you are doing, I know that many of you have started maybe doing meditation or yoga as a way to kind of lead you to a point where you are able to be able to center yourself and actually calibrate and field in the energies and be able to clear your body. Whatever you utilize your energetic field for, chi energy. Chi energy can be used for clearing. Chi energy can be used for regeneration. Chi energy can be used for revelation. Chi energy is, even though people attribute it to just heat, it is a way to recalibrate yourself. You can utilize that energy for numerous reasons. So many of you have been doing that. I know our sea stars have been really clearing their personal spaces with the people, places, and things around them that are not upholding to a frequency or a vibration that is in balance with them. So many of our sea stars and our sun stars have been really clearing out their closets with their friendships and their family dynamics. I've seen so many friendships kind of, rejuge themselves or kind of evolve in where some friends maybe you resonated with previously, but now in a different frequency and different vibration, you, politely exited or entered stage right or left based on whatever you were feeling or whatever you were resonating with. So I think it's beautiful, and I always like to say, if you're doing those things, you are on point. This has been a long couple of cycles for many of us. I think many of us have battle wounds from all the diabolical nature of these beings who have been testing our spirituality, testing our patience. And now I can literally say to you on 11/11/11 that you have graduated to a new point of existence, a new consciousness, a new state of evolution that many beings have undergone whenever there's switching of cycles. You can feel it, you can taste it, you can smell it. The colors are even more vibrant in this dimension. The people are even more astute in this dimension. You can even, like what we were talking about the other day, it's interesting because the conversations are lessened because we are telepathically communicating with one another more. I lack to say things, I have less to say because everything is being interpreted. That's why judging everything outside of yourself with everything being revealed, that is part of the shift. Everything has to be seen. Everything has to be revealed. It's like having a bad sore on a Band-Aid on a boo-boo for so long. You have to air it out in order to actually address it and heal it. You can't heal what you don't acknowledge. So the fact of the matter, all these groups that are coming out with child pornography or was interesting. Maybe I shouldn't mention that. Whenever something like that happens, I think maybe I won't mention that for some reason. I don't really think that was something diabolical. I think that's something I'm not supposed to talk about. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about the revelation of everything that's been happening on the back leg, of all the children being hurt, of all the rapes, all the people trafficking, children trafficking, all the diabolical foods, everything that they've been putting in your foods and water, everything has been revealed. And I always say, someone said, why do I want to be here? Why wouldn't you want to be here? There are so many spirits trying to jump on and piggyback off you right now via wine and spirits and drugs. You know why they want to be here? Because they understand that this is a magical time. This is the most beautiful time on the planet. If you are here, the best and the bad are here incarnated at this particular time. If you're non-appreciative of the beauty of the evolution of this pinnacle, most magical, most magnanimous moment that we're all experiencing right now, then maybe you should just probably allow for a walk-in to come in that would really appreciate it. This is a beautiful moment in time. Yes, we've been through a lot of things. Yes, we've undergone spiritual life lessons that don't seem very pretty as far as ingredients. But at the end of the day, just for us to have this conversation on a public platform, just for us to have the World Wide Web, remember, family, I am from a certain age. I'm a woman of a certain age. This is a beautiful moment when we can interact from every country. We've got people here from the UK. We have people here from Sweden, Germany. We have people here from Senegal, from Cape Town, from Ghana, from Thailand, from Australia, from Brooklyn, from the Bronx, from Connecticut to Cali to Arizona to Texas to Florida, all the way across to parts of Iceland. When could you have ever imagined that we could have all been on the same, interacting all together on one same platform? If you don't think that's magical, I don't know what else to tell you. That is absolutely amazing. The fact that we can all interact with one another energetically and really have an impact on how our development shows up. I think that is amazing. I think sometimes we talk about the internet like it's negative, but it's only what you bring and what you receive. So at the end of the day, yeah, there's some diabolical things on the internet, but it brought us together. So we have to be in appreciation. I appreciate the World Wide Web. I appreciate YouTube allowing this platform for us to come collectively together. I appreciate each one of you for showing up, however you show up, in order to teach aspects of who I am, who you are, to make me grow, to make you grow. I'm in appreciation of that all day. So at the end of the day, if this is what comes with the beautiful new energies and the new frequencies, I'm all for it. So what should be done today? Everything that we usually talk about on the 13th when we do our 13th shield, this is a vortex. You've already entered into another realm of existence. Let me take it back. You're not co-creating. Create. Create everything that you desire. Create everything that you ever wanted that is healthy in your highest state of being. If you desire for something, another job that allows you to live with freedom and integrity, you have all you need right now to be able to create that. If you desire a beautiful environment where it's free from chemicalization, you have everything you require right now and need to be able to do that. If you desire to have a beautiful, masterful mate who makes you feel the way that you make yourself feel and is in alignment with your higher self, you have all that you need and able to do that. So absolutely, this is a masterful time. 11/11 is where we want to be. And I want to say Prince has been coming to everyone. I have to say gratitude to Prince for showing up, and he's actually partaking in this shift we're going through. He's actually being supportive and sending out vibrations. His purple rain is actually showing up in our field of consciousness. How beautiful. So I have to say thank you for Prince for being able to transmute and assist during this shift. It's amazing. He was a wonderful artist, a very mysterious man that had a lot of pain at the beginning of his life, who was able to transmute that through music and frequency, through the purple energy of cleansing and clearing, and bring a new aspect of how we show up in the world and allow aspects. Now, mind you, people are like, well, Prince wasn't perfect. Well, neither were any of us. But I think when he transcended, and you know my thought, Prince is still here. When he transcended, he didn't leave us. And he's actually bringing in frequencies of messages to many of you, because even when we had the discussion about Prince the other night, many of you realized that Prince was telepathically communicating with many of us. It wasn't just me. Many of you were having dreams with him in there. That was him. That's his energy. So I have to say gratitude to Prince. Thank you so much for assisting in this transition. We appreciate you. We thank all the artists who are really magically showing up to help to also use the Arcturian energies, because you know the Arcturians are all about sound frequency and light frequency. Big up to the Arcturians who help to bring these beautiful waves of frequency that allow us to transmute all what we deem to be negative and make it into something really masterful. I'm so grateful. So at the end of the day, we are going to experience the most magical evolution for the next couple, actually the next couple years are going to look so different. I tell you, this conversation that we have, family, hopefully some of us will be face to face when we have conversations in the next 2 or 3 years, but everything that we thought was our reality is going to look like a whole nother blueprint. Our blueprint is being rewritten as we have this transmission right now. So at the end of the day, in 2 or 3 years, you're going to see and witness galactic interactions in a way that is more profound. You and your family dynamics will be in a way that you would have never, ever seen before. And I say this is because many of people are still purging, even though we're going through a beautiful time. Some of you are still purging and clearing those shadows. But I would say to you, you're doing a masterful job, because again, everything's showing up beautifully. And you can, and like I said, you can only change what you acknowledge. So if these shadows are showing up, it's meant for you to take them in, acknowledge them, kind of see it for what it is. And not all shadows need to be necessarily purged. I don't believe shadows need to be purged. I think they need to be incorporated, because what created you, all those ingredients that separately weren't something that you would desire. Like if you're making a cake, like if I just took baking soda and ate it, I wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't taste good. Or if I took just, if you use eggs, I don't use eggs, but if you use eggs, you wouldn't eat that separately. But once we put all the ingredients, even if they don't taste right separately, and we put them masterfully together, they all make the most beautiful cakes. So that's what I'm saying. Even these shadows that are showing up and things that you feel or feel that were tragedies, these are the wonderful gems that make you into the being that you are. These wonderful ingredients that bring and field in all these elements that are necessary to make a most beautiful result. So try to stay away from judging your shadows and incorporate them, because what made you a warrioress right now may have been some trauma, but that trauma gave you a feather. Like the Native Americans, it allowed you to have a feather, your feather up, because you gained the wisdom from having to go through some tragedies and being able to build your confidence and your state of strength and your fortitude. Yes, it was hard. It's like going through boot camp. Yeah, first you can't do 20 sit-ups. You maybe can't even do 1 sit-up, right? In boot camp, maybe you can't run even a half a mile, right? But every day, if you work on it and you see it and you really are motivated, eventually you run that 4K run. Eventually you're able to do 50 sit-ups without any problems. Eventually you visually look like the being that you always wanted to look like. So I'm just saying, try to incorporate your shadows. It's an aspect of yourself, and it's an ingredient that was necessary to turn you and transmute you into the beautiful being you are. A diamond would never exist if the coal wasn't shaped thousands of times. That's all I'm stating. So it's beautiful. Let's see who's anybody else having. I would love to do some calls. I don't know if it'll let me do it. So I wish I could, because on Instagram I can bring someone in the screen. I don't know that I could do this here. Can I do that here? Sometimes they let you bring other people in. I can't do that on here the same. I wish I was on another platform. I'm so used to doing my Aquarius Rising and having people talk and interact. And I would love to hear, if someone wants to, matter of fact, if you want to come on and want me to call you right now, I would love for other people to hear your experiences, what you're experiencing on 11/11. It's your birthday, Supreme Third Eye. You were born for this. You actually came in on 11/11, like you came in as a boom, like as an activation. You probably activate a lot of people's lives. Just your presence activates a lot of people's lives. Blissful birthday, blissful birthday, blissful birth anniversary. You know. So I hope you're enjoying this day. It's a beautiful day, and you're very special to be born on a day that has such a is so impactful for so many, including yourself. Like I said, you probably transmute everybody that you're around. That's what, you're an activator. You're like, you know how the children, we were talking about the children, I was saying how I personally think that the slime that children are obsessed with right now is a form of ectoplasm. Their obsession with ectoplasm, because the veil is down, and ectoplasm comes with us interacting from the beings on the other side that coexist in another dimension that have transcended. So it's interesting that activators are necessary to make slime, and you might be that activator that brings people past the veil, which I love. So happy blissful birthday. I hope you do some wonderful things today. So anyway, if anyone wants to talk right now, I'll bring you on the speaker. So, you can contact me on delgoddess@gmail.com. Put your number in there. I don't want you putting your number on here. There's too many people on here. I don't want everyone calling you on the site. So my email is delgaddess@gmail.com. If you want to just share your experience right now, I'd be really grateful for you to do so. And we can actually, so everyone can hear what's going on with you. Were you able to sleep last night? Did you have any very interesting dreams connected to what is occurring today and has been leading up to this point? Let's see. I'm going to check my email now. So, we'll just take 1 or 2 calls if someone's okay with that. I don't see anything yet. Some people get really nervous. See, Aquarius rising, everyone calls in and you're used to it. But if you want to call in, I'll take a phone call now, and we can kind of have a discussion on, publicly on what's going on. I gave birth and needed emergency. Wait a second. I gave birth. I gave birth and needed emergency C-section, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Oh my goodness, 23 years ago. Oh, how's the baby now? 1 foot in, 1 foot out, an emergency C-section. I hope the baby was fine. I'm assuming the baby was fine. I saw 11/11 about 7 times yesterday during the 11th hour AM and PM. That's awesome. That's solidification. Let's see. I'm seeing if anyone has left a message. Okay. Nobody wants to call? I think. Thank you, Sensei. You guys you always usually want to call on Aquarius Rising. Yeah, I don't give your number out. I don't like anyone leaving their number on here. Because our family's cool, but you may get all kinds of phone calls, and I don't want to take any responsibility for that. What about seeing 144 around this time? 144 is a denotion that you're most likely part of the 144. Now, most people, there are other people's take on 144. I think of it more literally. I personally think there's only 144 souls on this planet, 144,000 souls. And, I know that sounds absurd to some, but it is what I've denoted to be true. I personally think that there is 144,000 souls that are coexisting here. The others are some empty seeders. Others are, clones or hybrids. There are other beings coexisting with us using technology so that we're unable to see them because they bypass our cerebral cortex, and they're able to manipulate the way that we see them. So, when someone says to me, that's impossible, there's billions of people on Earth. A lot of those beings are soulless. They have 0 souls. They're spirits. Some of them are trying to spark a soul. I don't want to take away, and everyone deserves to be here. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying I personally know that me personally, and this may change if I get new intel. I never like to hold strong to anything, but I personally only know that there's only 144,000 souls on this planet, and those are the ones that are here really for a process of going into the higher realms of dimensions. Others are spectators, empty seeders, props, like I said, clones, hybrids that aren't here for that necessarily, but they are coexisting with us, and we want to be respectful to anything and everything that's here, as long as it's respectful to you. So, want to keep it real. Oh, wait, okay, I've got a phone call. Okay, let's see if I can, hopefully this goes through properly. Let's go. Hopefully it lets me do this. I'm trying to use the speaker to do this. It won't let me do this. All right. Whoever I'm calling right now, I'm sorry. I'm trying to use my speaker, my Wi-Fi speaker, to use, and it's not letting me do it. Can you hear me? I think you can hear me. Oh gosh. Okay, sorry. Jelly Bean, I know I'm calling. I'm just going to call you on speaker, okay? It's not letting me use my... I don't know why it doesn't let me use my other speaker. I tell you.
Sorry, I'm taking your phone call right now.
Uh-oh. Jelly Bean, I'm calling you. She's probably like, who's calling me? Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta raise my thing. You may not even be able to hear her. I do have good speakers.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
Hey, Jelly Bean, how are you?
I'm fine, sweetheart.
I don't know, my speaker's not working. I don't know why it won't do it when you call. I'm trying to call you on the main speaker and it's not picking up, but that's okay. I think they can hear you. Let me put it close.
I certainly hope so. I'm so grateful that you picked me. I just tuned in, and let me tell you, all I heard was what you just said. You said, I want a caller, and whoever wants to be online,
Yeah.
call in. And so I don't even know exactly what you guys are talking about. I just know, I was like, oh gosh, it must be my lucky day. I've been trying to speak to my beautiful sister for so long. Just the same thing. Hi, I love you, and bye.
I appreciate that. What are you feeling today? This is 11/11/11. What are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
Well, this is what I'm glad you asked that, because every time you talk about another subject, when you do your live Patreon account,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, damn, I was just thinking about that the other day. Like when you did the thing on the gray alien.
Yes.
About the gray overlay.
Yes.
3 days prior to that, I had some type of epiphany about the gray aliens because I studied the movie. And in my dream, I saw this little Asian person, non-melanin, and he was gray looking. And then, that movie that's on, the gray movie, about the girl?
No.
The movie.
What is it about? What is the name of it?
Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
Movie,
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that.
that whole movie is really about the black woman. So what I'm trying to say here is that the gray aliens are stalking the melanin dominant woman.
Well,
And you did a show on it.
Yeah.
You were saying huh?
Oh no, go ahead, love. We're listening.
You were saying how it's a gray overlay.
Yes.
And right before you said that, you said gray overlay in some demonic possession. I was already picking up on that.
Yes.
And then you did another show about, it was something just a few days ago, and I was like, hot damn it. I was like, she's not going to believe me when I say that I'm somehow a little bit in sync with you. I'm not where you are spiritually.
You are. I'm not above you. I'm not above you. Remember, I just may speak publicly about things that are already occurring with you.
Okay. Well, every time you come out with something, but I had already been picking up the gray aliens. Okay, the gray aliens, Jennifer Grey, like that movie Flashdance. Pretty much all these movies on TV are really about the melanin dominant woman. I don't know if this gray alien, Asian, not to be. And then you said you see some type of hold on our culture. The ones you did about the conquistadors.
Oh yes.
Okay, right before you said that, I kid you not, I was doing research on the conquistadors. I was reading about their origin, how Spain, they did a bloody war on us. It was just bloody.
The conquistadors are they were more the most heinous conquerors. Spain is no joke. Spain came in, and the conquistadors were just basically like exterminators. We give a lot of credence to Germany and the Nazis. They made the Nazis look like Girl Scouts.
Why did they do that to us? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why?
We can't remember. We have to look back a little further. This entire planet has been colonized by beings that have not coexisted here. So colonization is nothing new. It's always occurred. beings have always come to different planets. Some are more cohesive than others, but what happened back then is just another reflection of what they were actually. It's like things piggyback and follow what they've learned from other colonizers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we've learned to do diabolical things from beings who've come here and done diabolical things. Because remember, there were beings that came here, colonized, and enslaved some of the humans that were coexisting here, and also they did some horrific scientific experiments. So the conquistadors weren't the first, and nor will they be the last.
Okay.
They were just very heinous, and I don't think it would have mattered who they did it to. They would have done it to anyone living and coexisting on those lands, because they were, South America, the Americas are very rich with resources and with landmass. And whenever someone's looking for new places to put stake in more people so that they can have more control, they'll do it. So I don't want to give them credence like they're the bomb.com. They weren't the first people to do it, but they were heinous.
Okay, I see. Well, all I'm saying is every time you post a topic, or lately I say, because your earlier videos, about the black goo, I didn't pick up on that at first, but later, like, for the past, 6 months, every time you post a new video, you're talking about, a new topic of discussion, I'd be like, God damn it, I literally was just thinking about that 2 days ago, and then when you did one of the conquistadors, I was just researching that, and then also the gray aliens. It's like I've been, because I do a lot of praying. I do a lot of prayer now outside, and I'm always asking the ancestors for insight. And, then it shows me. And the night when you were talking about that one thing where, the event was coming, that same night I saw you in my dream. And in my dream you were saying, well, Jelly Bean, I don't want to give you a free reading. That's what you said to me. Because I really wanted a free reading, even though I had paid $50 for one. I wanted another one. I wanted to ask more questions.
Yeah.
Then we're talking here now. Last night I was saying, damn, I wish I could ask FleurBrun some questions. I never get.
So you already did. So you already manifested. This goes into our conversation. You manifested this conversation with me, and you got exactly what you manifested. You wanted to talk to me, and now you're talking to me. This is exactly what we're discussing.
Right, and I was trying to understand all these things, but sorry, I'm not gonna hold you. You got other callers. Somebody else gonna be. But the other part about the conquistadors, you said there's a hold on the culture. You're right, there is a hold on the culture, but it all ties into some of those things you said, because you said, you said there's witches in Africa, advanced witches, and I said, I was just thinking about that. I said, I was just thinking about that, and it goes back to that story. Do you know Bobby Hennett?
Yes.
You remember when he said that there's a story about the little boy who stole something from that African village, and he put a keloid on his chest, and he said that keloid is going to be on the genetic marker on all who descend from you.
They do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's witches. They're the most they're some of the strongest witches that are actually, now let me get this right. I know Nigeria, and in is it Tanzania? Is it Tanzania? It's Tanzania, and also in I want to get it right. There's one other place. I have to think of I want to give authentic information. They're some of the most powerful witches, and also they're the reason why there's so much diabolicalness also going on those lands. Because remember, wealth is held by 11% of the population on the entire planet. People don't realize that we give a lot of credence to the West for holding doing the diabolical things, but most of the wealth is held in the so-called Middle East and Africa. Most. Even though we don't give them credence, because they don't get credibility for it, because we see all the diabolical things happening with the extracting all the resources in Africa. But you got to realize who's getting paid off of those extractions from Africa. Not the people living there, but the royal families are. You don't hear about them, do you? Ever?
No.
Okay. Do you think they don't exist? So you think Africa is having people come in and offering whatever to be able to extradite resources. Now, who are they offering these things to? And if we're not seeing it go and trickle on to the people that you see, just the regular people, who are they soliciting? You never hear about them, because those are the true people ruling over this planet. And people think it's all about complexion. It's really not. Because if I showed you who's really in control of the show, it would shock most people. That's why Centaurians are never talked about. Africa's still the most resourceful continent in this world, but you won't see it because there's only a few that are in control of all that is there. And they all are brown.
So would you say that there's something behind this whole push to get African Americans out of the country now?
Well, yes, there's also, yes. There's also a trying to do bait and switch. There's a bait and switch going on. It's a combination platter. There are treaties being formulated right now, galactic treaties that are being upheld. And I think this will probably come out during the time when we get a mass disclosure. But there are beings here, Anunnakis, that are being that are placed pinnacly in parts of Africa, and they are the ones calling the shots on what is going to happen as far as the migration or the exodus of a certain people that are from some of the original bloodlines. Some call them the Hebrew Israelites. Like the Hebrew Israelites, I don't agree with them totally, but they're not wrong. There's a bloodline that is very, very important right now. And they want to make sure those bloodlines are places where they can have them rather than them, because with those bloodlines and your abilities coming online, wherever those bloodlines are, their lands will flourish. So do you understand what I mean? So let's say they want their own back so that they benefit from it. They don't want people who come from those bloodlines, whose abilities will come online, who find out what galactic families they're from, to bring that type of what comes with them to their geographical ley line. So let's say we have a bloodline here, a royal bloodline in the Americas. They want to bring them back to Africa. They don't want them here because they want to benefit over there. They don't want the benefit staying here where we exist now. Do you understand? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, Fleur, I mean, we all admire your intelligence. We need to know this for ourselves so that we can make better decisions. To be honest, I'm really kind of scared. I mean, it's just like over here, we have given our blood, sweat, and tears probably longer than 400 years, and we still don't have a participant. And every time we get something, they take it away.
But be careful.
You know.
Yeah, let me just dip in a little bit. I apologize. Be careful who you say we. We're not all cut from the same cloth. Because you look like somebody doesn't mean you are them. Remember that. Different bloodlines. Okay. Just like I can't say, even though I see a European, a person who's fair skinned, who's from Germany, and then I see another fair skinned person and they're from England, or I see another fair skinned person and they're from Switzerland. Those are not the same bloodlines. We are not all from the same cloth. So I agree with what you say, but we're not all the same people.
Right. So it has to be in proper context.
Yes. There has been a purposeful lumping people together to disinform people and also to confuse certain people. Do you know what I mean? And the only people that they're trying to do it to is because there's a royal bloodline within some brown people, and they don't want them to know who they are. So they're confusing them by putting them in a lump sum of something that's considered lower. Like they're saying like if the consensus on the planet is all brown people are a ghetto, or all brown people are lower species, or all brown people are not worthy. That total propaganda is purposefully being done to hide certain galactic ties to certain people. Okay.
Well, we should be knowledgeable like you. What do you recommend we do? Do we need to keep researching?
It's coming out. It's all coming out. That's why you're seeing all of this information about who the Aboriginals were. And when I say Aboriginals, I have to retract that, family. I want to restate this because I think I made something on the Native and Aboriginals that were here in the Americas. It's not Aboriginals. I mispronounced it. It's AB Originals. AB originals. I don't want to go too far into it, but that's what I mean. I'm saying AB originals, but it's AB originals, the AB bloodlines of the originals, okay? That's why a lot of natives here have AB combination. That's the originals that were from the Northern Americas, okay? So, in order to find out your galactic connection, there's nothing else you're going to do. They contact you. That's all the beings that are here now that are now off of the quarantine. We've been quarantined for many years, even eons. The quarantine is done for most. I will say most. I won't say necessarily for all. I don't know that for a fact. But the fact of the matter is that quarantine is off. That means your galactic family, if you have that, will be giving you messages. They will be sending you things in dreams. They will be sending you information. They will send you to people on YouTube that they know are in sync with your information. You will get everything you require. This is the age of Aquarius we're going into. All information is yours. You have access to everything now. So you won't necessarily have to seek it. You can ask it and it will come to you. I promise you that. I can make a 1,000-degree promise to you on that one.
Okay, so if basically, like Bobby said, I mean, when we get to the age of Aquarius, or when stuff starts getting heightened, all you got to do is ask for it.
That's right.
And it'll manifest.
Even
and
this conversation.
Like I said, I was thinking.
You did it just now.
Like I said, I really wanted to talk to you, and it was just I said around 6 o'clock. I was like, boy, I wish I could ask her some questions, man, but. Whatever, here we are now. I really wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to talk to you so bad that I had a dream. I fell asleep on the couch. I was laying in your bed.
Oh.
I was laying I was laying in your bed next to you, and I was talking to you, and you just rubbing my head, kind of like, yeah, it'll be okay. And I was crying because I was like, but I just don't understand. I'm too stupid. And that's what I kept thinking. I kept saying, you were trying to get my child to be smarter, and you were like, you kept saying something. You weren't really, it was like you were telepathically saying stuff. You were like, it'll be all right. You're just a little too worried. And I was like, I'm stupid. I really want to talk to you. I kept saying, I'm stupid. And then when I woke up, I was kind of sweat. I was like, shit, what was that about? And so, yeah, like you said, stuff is speeding up. I'm not going to.
And don't beat yourself, and try not to beat yourself up as,
I don't know how to do that. I don't.
Train yourself.
I've been trying to communicate with my galactic beings. I've been trying to do it for about 10 years now, and I just really feel ashamed that I'm not on your level.
Be careful, because no, you don't have to. I'm not on a high level, love. I'm really not. I'm just in a frequency. That's it. I'm in a certain frequency, but be careful who you're asking to contact, because you may not be connected to the galactics. You might be connected to the interterrestrials. See, there's a lot of different beings here, and there are subterranean terrestrials that coexisted here before a lot of the colonization. So be careful who you're calling for. You're calling from above. You might want to call from below. That's why they always demonize hell and say it's below your feet. No, there is an Agartha. There is a heaven beneath our feet. Beneath our feet, in the middle of the earth, inner earth, is goddess heaven. There are the most beautiful beings, most masterful, majestic beings residing in inner earth. You don't hear about those either. You may be trying to connect with a galactic set where you need to connect with your interterrestrial set. Be mindful.
I mean, right, yeah, absolutely understand. I mean, I'm trying to get in contact with whoever
That's right.
is in my bloodline.
That's right.
Whoever, I'm not necessarily, I didn't mean to say I was calling out to Galactic specifically.
Yes.
What I meant to say was I pray to get in contact with whoever is with me in this incarnation, whoever I'm supposed to contact, whether it's fairies or interterrestrials, whoever.
Yeah.
I don't want to contact those. And I've been doing this for a while now. And, I get a few snippets in dreams, you know what I'm saying? But dealing with this physical earth, I want stuff right now.
Yeah, you'll get, remember, everything is divine timing. And I know it gets a little frustrating, because especially when you get in a stagnated point where you're like, okay, I've done everything. I've read everything.
Yeah.
I've fasted. I've cleared my yoni space. I've done all the meditations. I've gotten all the crystals. I totally understand and understand that. But remember, everything is divine timing. Everything has to be ingested and also processed. So if I take aspirin, I don't take aspirin, but let's say I take something for pain, right? and I'm in pain, but I take something for pain, there is a time from when I ingest it to where it actually is able to relieve the pain. That's all I'm saying. When you get information in, you have to allow for it to sink in and also show up. So it takes, there's a time for ingestion, and then how it expresses itself, how it shows up. So every time you get new information, you have to allow for the ingestion, for the digestion of it, rather.
Okay. Yeah, but I want, okay, but what about protection? I mean,
it's unnecessary. Yeah, protection. You should be able to shield yourself up. You're very keen on that. You can shield yourself up with visualization and also with stones. You know, there's lots of different protections, and I don't want to tell you. You should also be careful by, let's say you use protection. I'll give you one example. Okay, so let's say we're going out somewhere. We're going to go hang out, right? And you know I like to dance, right? So you know some places where dancing, I love Latin dance because that's what I taught, and that's my genre. So I want to go to a bachata place, right? And you know it's going to be seedy, right? And we know that we're going to be amongst people that are not higher in vibration. What we would do is we would make sure we clear our own auric field. We want to make sure it's pristine. And then we would also make sure we have a stone that will absorb and block, like a tourmaline or obsidian. We would also make sure that while we're engaging with those wonderful, sultry, sexy beings while we're going dancing, that we make sure that they're not able to infiltrate our space with their demons or their demonics attached to their auric field. So we make sure we wear something like a Hamza hand, an Eye of Horus, something to throw back, or evil eye, to make sure that things go back to them. And we make sure we clear ourselves once we have fun and danced and sweat and got all sultry. And when we go home, we make sure we cleanse with salt water, sand, or go swimming on a beach naked. You might get arrested though. If you go on the beach naked and swim, you know, just things like that, clear yourself. That's it. That's what you do. And you walk out the house always encasing yourself in a wonderful clearing bubble, a bubble that's protective, but allows for engagement with other beings. You just do that. And you always make sure your protection is applicable to the situation and scenario. You have to switch it up. You can't use a protection when you're walking around with witches and they're not really fazed by religion. I can't walk around with a cross or garlic. You know what I mean? It's not applicable to those type of beings. They're not really affected by those modalities. That's all. Make it appropriate and applicable to the scenario that you're engaged with. And always make sure you clean and cleanse. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, shoot. I could talk all day, but I know you got some more callers.
All right, Mama. Love you, Jelly Bean.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Peace, love.
I really, good God. Once I get a job, trust, I'm going to donate. You're so smart.
No worries. No, I'm not very smart.
Oh, you're very smart,
really
man.
Not.
I mean, and that's what a lot of sisters need. We need to see an intelligent sister who's knowledgeable about things like this, particularly of this nature. And so we don't know where to look because you have a lot of males with egos that's trying to teach, and we, you know, then every time you listen to them, here comes a new scandal, or he's really a time traveler, time jumper, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you can't.
Well, we have to be careful with males. Big up to all our masterful males on here, our divine males. We just have to be careful as females with males, because what's happening now is we're having a craving, and many of us are craving for the interaction with males, and where our craving is distorting who we align with, because we are feeling a lack of enough. You know, a feeling that there's a lack of the quantity of them. So what it does is it lingers over into us craving, and those cravings being unnaturally satisfied by diabolical males that are utilizing platforms such as metaphysical platforms or magical platforms to lure and utilize the feminine wills, the feminine power for themselves. We have to be very mindful. The craving is natural, but how we deal with the craving is where we're getting caught up in some of these connections to some of these low field males. We have to understand that if he is not in your direct vicinity geographically, and you're craving interaction with a male, you need to find males that are in your general location, not online. And also, you will know you'll be able to discern his energetic field much more properly in person as opposed to online, because there's a lot of spells, a lot of rituals, and I've, even I have come under, I had a friend who was doing spells on me to make me like him more, or he was doing rituals on me to make me see him differently. And so, you know what I mean? So I even was under that kind of, people, that diabolical manipulation as well. So I'm just saying that we need to utilize our discernment and make sure that if we're personally craving males for more mating as opposed to fielding together, we got to be able to discern the two. Some of us want to mate, and we think that it's not that, but we really want to mate. So if you want to mate, you should only be around males who are in your general frequency. If he's in your frequency, then he's for mating. If he's outside of your frequency and he's not touchable, that's something else. We have to be able to discern the two. That's just my opinion.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. And yeah, you should consider teaching a class or something like that.
I will. I mean, I'll do another. I'll probably do another. I'll do the conference, but I'll probably do a conference that's more based in the divine feminine, and get some of the more masterful females to come and help assist with some of our female base, our sea stars, to assist a little bit and guide them. That's it. I think that's necessary. That's all.
Yeah, because we should spread this type of information to a lot of our sea stars that are just lost and don't know what to do.
But remember, everyone experiences what's necessary for their spiritual growth. So even though we may see them as lost, that may be the level of that may be the spiritual lesson for them to go through. Maybe dealing with someone who's a charlatan, dealing with what that feels like when they let you down, and then they're able to build and learn from it and then gain wisdom. So you don't want to take away from someone gaining their own spiritual astuteness by having to go through things that will assist them. That's necessary as well.
Okay, and just one last thing, and I promise that's it. You said the matriarchy is coming back online.
It is online. 18 judges were 12 melanin dominant females were voted as judges in Texas. Big up to those sea stars. The matriarchy is here. Women are calling the shots right now.
Okay, I thought when you said that the matriarchy was back online, I was under the impression that there was some select group of otherworldly beings that officially
17. Thank you. Oh no, there are galactic sea stars. The Andromedans and the sect of the Nega are upholding that. Also, you have the tall whites have their own selections. So there are just like, and that's why I was upset with Jay-Z taking on our story. If you watch Jay-Z's video, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that he did our story, but that's what it is. That table is a detail of who's sitting on the table, and they'll tell you genetically who's sitting on those tables. As far as the new seats of the divine feminine calling the shots now, they are online. There are new positions being people. That's why you're seeing the society. You can't create on an already established society. That's why everything's being broken apart in order to be reestablished in a way that's cohesive with the divine feminine. So the council's already online. They're already adjudicating certain positions, and that's why you're going to start seeing more females holding power. You're going to start seeing more resources for women who've been raped, children services, things like that. So you start to see more of that. So that, and also it'll field in, for our sun stars who get a little nervous when I say women are calling the shots. This is all to bring about unity consciousness, because we can only coexist as females with the divine male. We are mated for one another in this particular incarnation. So because of that, the women have to heal themselves in order to have healthy mindset, and that's going to take a little while.
Right, because we're both imbalanced, really.
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
and,
absolutely.
It's not about picking and blaming here. I mean, some males, like you said, they may feel uncomfortable because of the change in the atmosphere. They've been doing a lot of low field stuff, but then you also have the divine male. They feel this feminine energy. They feel this feminine energy, and they like it. It brings them closer to their women.
Oh,
if you're not, if you have anything high, you really shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
Yeah, our divine males are online. I mean, I talk to them. They're beautiful. They're masterful. They're available. They're loving.
I noticed the change.
Yeah,
I
and
know
they're
what you mean.
supportive.
Like,
They're supportive of our healthiness. Yes, yes.
good. Well, I know you want to get to the next caller,
All right.
so
Thank you, love.
thank you.
Take care, Jelly
Thank you.
Bean.
Love you so much.
Love you too,
Thank
Mama.
you so much. Love you. Good
Peace.
God.
Peace.
Be my guy.
I love it. Thank you, Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean called in. Okay. We have, hold on. I have the, okay. We have Robert. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm going to call this gentleman. Here we go. We go to the next call. We got a Robert. We're calling Robert. I love when we call our male sun stars.
Hello?
Peace, Robert.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Asha. This is Asha from
Aja. Hey, Aja.
yeah, I don't go by my government name.
Aw. What's good? What's good?
Oh my God.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Well,
Let me ask you first. How do you feel?
oh my God. The abundance is rolling in.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Isn't it amazing?
I've been getting so many signs since actually before 11/11. I did an event with a group of mine here in Vegas in support of local and out-of-state queer artists.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't realize that Vegas doesn't really support certain types of artists. It's very, as you know, very matrix-based.
Oh, so it's all about who they know. It's all the same. You know, it's like who you kiki with.
Yes, absolutely. So we decided that instead of waiting for someone to do something for us, we'll do something for ourselves.
Wait, say it a little louder. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Instead of us waiting for someone else to do something for us,
Yes.
we will do something for ourselves.
That's right. Oh, you already know. That's right. Why go on someone else's platform when you can create your own? Absolutely, I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having deja vu right now.
Ooh,
Okay.
we've had this conversation before. I see.
Yes. So after that, I've been getting these messages from the spirit realm, my ancestors, my guides, my higher self. 771 or 177. And normally when I see that number, that means that I'm being gifted with something.
I love it. I love it. You're able to discern your coded numbers,
Yes.
your encryptions. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I also started a ritual before 11/11.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting enough, I've never seen me do any rituals in my dream state. This time around, I was doing a ritual in my dream state,
Oh,
as well as my wake state.
that's a good. That's the rituals in the dream state in the ethers. Those mean there's something going on. There's about to be something big going to show up. Something bigger is going to establish itself in your life in a concrete way.
Interesting.
Are you moving?
Well, I just recently moved a couple months ago.
Okay.
I mean,
There we go.
I do get a feeling that I'm moving again.
Okay. Because usually whenever you see rituals in the dream state, it's usually some sort of move. It's something geographically that's being. That's just what I've denoted.
Okay. Well, as we conversed on Aquarius Rise, that I had a desire to want to move to India.
Wait, to India?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
India's like really calling it.
I love this. I love this. This is gonna be awesome. I want to call you in India.
Yeah.
Can I call you? I'm gonna call you and be like, hey, where are you at? Are you in India? I'm like that. I'm not. I'm calling you in India, but just to hear your voice in the different. Remember, because every placement, every geographical location has its own vibrational patterns and its own codes. So that's why it's very important when we all interact with one another, especially when we come together personally. We are able to feel those energies that are there. So you're going to get a whole different set of codes when you're there, vibrationally, everything, the frequency, and depending on where you are.
I love it. I love it. See, well, there's a lot going on.
I love
A couple days ago, I had a contact with some star family, and
Yes.
they sometimes they send you different things, different messages for it's applicable to where you're at in your journey. This one I didn't really understand what it was. Maybe you would understand.
Mm-hmm.
So I had went to the gym really late, and I came back to my home, and then I got this feeling to just need to drive. I was like, okay. So I was just driving, and I was headed towards this light that I saw in the sky. It looked like it was part of a constellation, but the way that it was shining so many different colors that I know that it was a star. So I drove towards where I could really get a really good view. I went on the other side of the city.
Okay.
And I parked out. I was on top of this cliff. And I was just parked there, and I sat there for a second, and I saw a coyote come out.
What did you see come out? Say again. What did you see?
A coyote.
Coyote. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a watcher. Coyotes are watchers. Okay, so a watcher came out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I just observed it and let it do what it did. And then as I started to gaze at that light, this flash of blue light hit my first eye, and I saw this energy of bluish light, like in an orb. It was encased in this room. Like it was gorgeous. I didn't know what it was. All I remember was I saw that, and I also saw an egg-shaped board that had geometric like puzzle pieces on it.
You were taken. When did you have this dream? When?
This was Thursday.
You were taken. Did you go to sleep? Do you remember falling asleep or no?
No, I just remember being really. I was tired. Yeah, I just remember. I remember that, and I remember hearing a voice say, "Trust me."
That's taken. Usually, when you told me the egg, the contactees know these, because a lot of us talk amongst each other, so we know like different things that happen when each one of us taken or when we're interacting with some of our star families. But when you said the egg with the geometrical shapes, that's meant to, what it does is it can either put you to sleep, it'll also make you see certain things, it gives you a hologram. It's able for your mind to field in the hologram that it's about to present to you. So once you told me you saw the egg with the geometrical shapes, I was like, okay, they're putting up a hologram for you. Most likely you were taken. I personally think you were taken on Thursday. And then you said the blue light. The blue light is always associated with a lot of times you're taken. The blue light is the first thing you see before they take you. I see purple when I get on the ship, but I see blue when they take me.
Oh wow. That's happened to me before. Now that you said that, when I was 17,
Yeah.
I remember having a dream of a blue light encasing my body, and the next day I woke up with a triangle with burn mark
On your
on
arm.
my.
It's not a burn mark. They just it's sometimes the imprinting of the table. Sometimes they have you on certain if they're not actually burning us. It's just certain equipment that is in their wherever they're taking you. Sometimes it could be on a ship. Sometimes it's the underground bases. I don't know where. But whenever you're there, it's not that they're burning you with those triangular shapes. They're sometimes imprinting you. They're putting in a chip, or the equipment that they have these little triangular shapes on them. So you get imprints sometimes on the body that stay, depending.
Okay. Wow.
I know, it's awesome. So you actually have interaction. Now, do you ever see the beings, or do you just see the light?
It depends. During my meditative states, I sometimes see beings. Like they'll actually show me their face.
What do they look like?
Let's see. This last go around, because I feel like my guides have, like I have a whole set of guides.
Mm-hmm.
I have this theory that depending on where you're at, you'll get a different set of guides in order to help you, assist you in your next.
Absolutely.
Your next one of them is a reptilian.
Okay.
With these ice blue eyes.
What color eyes? Wait, say it again.
Ice blue. Ice blue.
Ice blue? Okay. Okay.
He's very, very kind. The other one.
When you say I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is the skin scaly or is it flat? Are there indentations like his skin? Does it puff up like in different squares or textured? I mean textured.
Like think of the show V. Think of like
okay.
It looks like a lizard.
Okay.
I don't want to call him a lizard.
No. That's I want to know what kind of reptilian. Yeah, I'm getting an idea. Okay.
Yeah. He's not of the Draconian set, so. But he's very, very kind, very helpful. He's very helpful with sending me certain messages. I've gotten some context from Anunnaki.
Okay.
Particularly Shamash. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Shamash or Utu.
Okay. You said Utu?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. I've also seen a tall black man. And when I say black, I don't mean like black. I mean like
dark, carbon, very carbon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the last one I've seen, I actually think it was an incarnation of me.
Ah, an aspect of you. Absolutely. Very good that you know this. Very good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Not all galactic beings. I want to make sure we tell our family this. Not all galactic beings that you're in contact with are separate beings. They are aspects of you. Future, past, present, whatever you deem, they are aspects of you. So if you futuristically or you came from a galactic family, you may visit yourself. Your ship that you see may be your ship that you're seeing, but it's you. It's you viewing you as an ancestor, or vice versa. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. She was absolutely beautiful ship. It's a caramel brownish skin. Her eyes were red and gold.
Ooh.
They were a little slanted.
Okay.
That's how I knew that she wasn't fully human.
Okay.
But sometimes I think that's part of my artistry. and I was needing some assistance, and she came and she offered me some assistance, and I was able to realize that it was actually me helping him.
Good.
Which is there's so much for
You know what I also want to say something. What do you know your blood type? You know your blood type?
I don't. I need to figure that out.
What, do you know one of your parents' blood type?
They don't know either.
Why I asked is because I wanted to know what star family you may be connected to. That's all. It gives me an idea. If you're a negative Roost, I can kind of break it down a little bit. I can kind of do the process of elimination. If you're a positive Roost, I can do the process of elimination, because I think it's an interterrestrial being that's contact, especially with the blue eyes, because they get the blue eyes from being around the sun, the inner core sun, which is way more magnetic than the artificial one that they now have, you know, the sun simulator. But usually the blue field eyes with that could be one of the subterranean reptilians, which are here. And I want to know that it's that one. So if you tell me that you're positive, Roost, I know that it's a subterranean one. If you tell me it's negative, I know it's not. Because the negative Roost would not have contact with the subterranean. They don't mess with negative Roost. Only the positive Roost, because the positive Roost is from here. Intrinsically, they have more DNA connected to the Earth plane. So just, you know, if you find out what your Roost is, either positive or negative, and you ask your doctors or anything like that, just find out if it's positive or negative. I would love for you to find out your blood type, because you should, but, you know, it'd be good to find that out.
I definitely will. I don't know what's the point of waiting for a good time when there's never really a good time. You know, I've been asking my parents like a lot of questions.
Oh wait, somebody has a question for you. Hold on. The question is from Loyalty Makes a Family. She asked him if he has any grandparents with elongated heads. Any of your grandparents
elongated heads? Yeah,
you almost like, you know how Ella Cool J and Usher have the elongated heads. They always used to wear the scullies to try to hide their elongated heads, like the egg, what is it called, the cone heads? Not to that degree, but slightly. Do they have that? That's what the question she asked.
I don't even know. About long-headed heads, I mean, I used to be made fun of about the shape of my head.
Wait, you?
Yeah, they used to call me.
Oh, Melanated Family called it. Oh, snap. You see, our family you guys call me smart. You guys are so bright and so spry. She called it. She asked that question. Yes, Melanated Family. Yes, he does. It's him. You, my love. Bump the grandparents. It's you, because you are your grandparents. So it's even better if it's you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I do know about one of my grandmothers. She had white hair with purple eyes.
Oh, that's an Anunnaki. Okay, that's Anunnaki. That's why you're getting contacted. Okay, that makes sense now. Nigga. Yeah. Interesting. I love this. Well, I love that you called in. I'm looking forward to your move. I'm looking forward to. I appreciate and I acknowledge your evolving and you taking a leap to another geographical location that will be more cohesive to your energetic field. So I support it.
Yeah. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've helped me in so many ways of just understanding like this journey.
I appreciate it. You as well.
I'm not sure if I could have done this without beings like you.
Oh, I appreciate it. And it's going to be a fabulous celebration. So hopefully you'll be with us in South. Listen, when I actually get everything set up and everything, everybody's coming to celebrate in South America. It doesn't matter where you are.
I definitely.
If anything you know about FleurBrun, I know how to throw a celebration. So at the end of the day, when all this smoke and mirror, everything's cleared, post-pole shift, maybe even pre-pole shift, we're going to celebrate.
Yes. And I know you love to dance. I love to dance as well.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. The drums. I love to have, and I love having drummers on site. Like, you know, I saw this wonderful drummers in Brazil at one point, and it was like young girls, like 11 and 12, and they had like all afros, like curly fros, and they were drumming. I was in bongos. I was in love. Like, I felt like my whole body vibrated to the drum beat. I felt like I was in heaven. I felt like everything about me, all my past lives were like culminating, trying to spill out just from the beat of the drums of these young sea stars. It was so powerful. So we will add drums to our mix as well.
I love that. I love that.
It's beautiful. All right. Have a wonderful, masterful 11-11-11. You enjoy in everything that you desire. Tell yourself how wonderful you are. Look at yourself and pat yourself on the shoulder. Hug yourself. Enjoy something, an elixir that makes you feel special. Do something that is in celebrating today. This is a vortex that's opened. This is something that we need to celebrate. This is a very pinnacle, important day. So enjoy.
I definitely will. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah. Kisses. Peace. That's one of our sun stars. What's love, mommy?
By the way,
Thank you, dear.
Maria said she may give you be able to give you one of the fruits called
Oh, tomato. Oh, the papaya.
yeah.
The papaya. Oh, okay. Her papaya, or yeah, because the papaya are almost
Yeah,
right.
like if another one sprouts because they see the seeds.
They're the papaya. Oh, okay.
Or she'll give us the seeds.
We'll make papaya pudding or something. Okay. Sorry. That's my little one. My neighbor's growing tons of papaya. She's not from here. My neighbor's from Bulgaria. Big up to Bulgaria. Our neighbors are from Bulgaria. And they have a house here, but they didn't realize what fruit they were growing, so they're growing tons of papaya. And the papaya tree only took less than 4 months to grow. That's how fast it grows when it's in its environment. So she's gonna give me some papaya. And then we'll make papaya. We'll make papaya stuff. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's take another caller. This is gonna be my last caller. Okay. Oh, we've got lots of call. Oh my goodness. Yes, callers. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get the phone calls. Sorry, family. I'm trying to do this easily. Okay. I've got another phone call. Hold on. Okay. I think her or his name is Maitland. Hopefully
Hello?
they're partying. Hey, PC Star.
Hello?
Hello. Are you partying? Are you celebrating without us?
Hold on. Can't hear you.
Are you celebrating without us? Hey, C Star.
Huh?
Hey, C Star.
Hi. Oh, I am so happy. Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. Mama?
Yes. Yes.
I'm listening and you're still talking. Oh, sorry, I'm my online. So, I'm in a noisy place if it sounds noisy.
No, it sounds celebrating. Listen, it sounds like you're
Tell you.
celebrating. I'm okay with the celebration. You're doing exactly
Okay.
what you're supposed to do on 11/11.
You know, I absolutely am enjoying myself. However,
Oh,
I know you were going to come on today.
you knew?
Yes. I had this dream this morning, and when I woke up, the first person I wanted to send a message to was you.
Oh my gosh, this is cool.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
But I've been, all of my dreams lately have been images in the sky. Images, like stuff in the sky. This morning, my dream is I was at a place and there were so many colors in the sky. There were so many colors. Like, and I've been having a dream about some colors that I don't know if they're new colors. I can't explain them. I can't even describe them. And this dream this morning was about so many different colors just popping in the sky. And then when I woke up, I'm like, oh my word, I have to say this to somebody. And I said I was going to send you a message on, because I said I was going to send you a message on your messenger.
Yeah.
And then my day started going. However, these dreams that I'm having now is like, I don't know, this dream that I had like some time ago, it was about, I was inside and I heard a popping. And when I looked up, I came out and I looked up in the sky, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, FleurBrun. You know that symbol?
Which symbol?
What is your name? It's a flower, because I know that I keep saying it everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a flower, and when I research the symbol, it's some Asian symbol that's it's spelled F-L-E-U-R or F-L-U-R, like
Fleur,
what is your
Fleur,
name?
Fleur, yes, Fleur.
And then D-I-S, I think, and L-E-S. No, D-E and L-I-S.
D-E-L-I-S? Denise?
Okay, D-E-L-I-S.
Belize, FleurBrun.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, it's French, and I don't French.
FleurBrun.
So when I look up, it was that, and I've been researching what does that mean, because I keep seeing it like on the books, these little things, fabrics, everywhere since lately.
FleurBrun. Does anyone know? Well, no, I know of life, but I wonder if she's seeing that. Are you seeing it like are you seeing it like the pattern of a geometrical, like a whole bunch of circles on circles on circles on circles?
Yes.
Okay, so it is a
And
flower
it was in
of
the
life.
sky too.
Okay, someone's saying it's a symbol of Louisiana. Someone said that. If you're seeing that, it's
Of what?
interesting.
Of what?
Of Louisiana. Someone said it's.
Yes.
Oh.
Because when I started seeing it everywhere, I realized I kept seeing it, and then I started researching, and I realized that it's a symbol that a lot of royalty use on their emblems and lots of stuff. And I saw it on the ring.
Everyone's bringing in, yeah. So Summer Dawn says this is the Trinity symbol. Is also this way.
Yes.
The Trinity. Douglas
Yes.
also says it's a Trinity symbol. Okay. So
Okay.
this could be something connected to your blood lineage. Whenever you're seeing, or it could be something required for a sometimes geometrical shapes. And I love that Jewel Brookman kind of gets into this when she does her classes at her university. Certain geometrical shapes are allotted to.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Harmonious Queen. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll read that right after. Some of these geometrical shapes unlock codons within us. So let's say you see a geometrical shape or it keeps showing up to you. What it's doing is it's a kind of code that your DNA reads as to unlock something. So it could very well be a lineage decoder, like a decoding, like a geometrical shape that is meant to unlock information out of you. Sacred geometry. Thank you, Nisha. And what it does is when you see it or when you wear it, it unlocks something. So it's like a key. Fleur de lis.
Oh.
Is it fleur de lis? I don't know if
Okay.
it's that. Yeah, so it's a form of, I think it's, again, a decoder, something that's meant to unlock something and you're meant to wear. So I would suggest you get it and wear it on yourself so it does what it's supposed to do.
Oh, I should. So there's this thing, like, I just remember what you said a while ago when you were talking to the gentleman, or was it the lady, when you said, is there's something that you need to know that your family or your galactic or whoever would lead you to the exact people
They
who
will.
you need to. And every time that I need to know something, I usually get the information like, I don't know, it's like sometimes I may not listen to that person, or sometimes I may listen to that person on YouTube, and then somehow I may see a video pop up and I listen to it, and it's the exact same thing that I needed to know, or the thing that I need answer to.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. It's and if we listen to those cues and those and silence the chatter, the outside chatter, everything that we require, we get. We have your ancestors. You are your ancestors. You've been here, especially if you've been here for eons. You have all the information inside of you. There's a codons. There's multiple codons that are unreleased in people. People die with codons unlocked. You have all your information inside of you. And just like when you're dreaming of that, that's your decoding your emblem that's necessary to unlock some other information that's needed. But you have that ability to get all the information you require. There's nothing really hidden from anyone unless you hide it from yourself.
I know. I know. This morning was like, it was the nicest feeling I've ever felt when I had like a dream. It was the best feeling that I woke up with this morning, because I'm like, okay, I know that these colors popping up overhead. It's like, I know it's something. I know it's definitely something, and I'm like, I absolutely can't wait
It's
to
beautiful.
actually experience and see what it is.
It's beautiful.
What it is all about.
Yeah.
It's all about.
Yes. And it also take that, if you, because I have a feeling you feel like a healer. I don't know what you do, but you feel like a healer. And heal. Is that true?
Yes, in some aspect,
Okay.
I am, and I don't know. I've been attracting a lot of broken people since the belief, and I've been asking myself why, and then I get to understand that like I need to do like a lot of those healing on myself, because I don't know, because a lot of people have been,
Thank you, Sandra. Yes, I
a
think.
lot of people have been coming my way, and I'm like, I'm helping them, but like, what is going on? And then I come to the realization that what, it's because I'm attracting them.
Well, they know who you are. They recognize who you are, so they're coming to you because they know you're a healer. Even if you're not doing it quite yet, they know that you're going to be a healer. So you feel like a healer, and even with that signature geometrical shape, that's also a sign and denotion of somebody who utilizes that for healing. So I suggest you start to practice, and also I suggest you start taking Qigong classes, and also Qigong classes, and also Tai Chi. It will help you to integrate some of those energetic fields and be able to master utilizing the chi energy for healing self, and then you'll be able to heal others. But you have the energy of a healer already, so they're picking up what I already picked up on.
Okay, so about this other little dream that I have, where I dreamt it twice. So I remember the sun, as of now, the sun, it got bright, like extremely bright, and there was someone who came right out of it to warn me about something. To warn me.
They came out of the sun? They came out of the sun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. He was a man, and he was very, very handsome. Actually, I was doing something. I was warning somebody about something, and he came out because I don't know if you have time for this dream. It was like the sky opened up, and there was a whole other city up there.
Oh, you saw, okay.
A whole other city.
Okay.
It was like castles and building and people.
That's Nibiru. That's Nibiru. You're seeing Planet X. You're seeing Nibiru. You're able to see that. Okay.
Oh, so somebody was telling me now that it was, this religious thing, and I was warning them that no, don't believe it. It's not that. And then somebody came down but he was looking at me, but he wasn't saying anything. And then I said, I stopped. And then when I stopped, I realized he was warning me, and I stopped. So a part of it wasn't even a dream. I woke up and I was on the bed, and he was outside my window. It was like he was outside my window looking at me, and then he left. So another time now, I wasn't doing anything in my dream, and at that time I didn't ask him where he was from. I didn't ask any question. I didn't say anything. So the next time I wasn't doing anything, I just dreamt him coming out of the sun again. It's like he get extremely bright, and he came, and then I asked him. I remember the first time that I didn't ask him, and I said, "Where are you from?" And it wasn't his voice that said it. Said Mars. What is that?
He said Mars?
Yes, but it wasn't like I heard his voice saying it or his mouth or anything. It just came to me that it was
Okay,
Mars.
that's
But
okay.
it was when I asked him, and then I realized that he might have been like a friend to me or something.
Okay. He's a Martian. Okay. I guess we go to the garage.
The Martian, but why
Why would a Martian
why would a
contact you?
Martian?
Why would a Martian contact you? There's numerous
I figured
reasons.
that.
They only contact their own people. So you could be a volunteer that came here, incarnated here from Mars. We have a huge Mars colony. There's different colonies on Mars. Thank you so much for all the donations. Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Oh, 1111. This is so beautiful. Yes. There are a multitude of beings that contact people that are only from their sect. If a certain being is contacting you, the fact that he's coming out of the sun makes me think he's from Nibiru. Now, he may be coexisting and living on Nibiru. He could have been from Mars. Yes. So he could have been from Mars, but he lives on Nibiru. Because him coming out of the sun to me, well, the sun also has time. Now, let me pull back from me saying that.
You know, that was like earlier this year. Like
Yeah,
in the
because
early part of this year.
the sun has a lot of vortexes. So if he's telling you he's from Mars, he's from Mars. They don't lie about where they're coming from. That doesn't happen. So it could be that him coming out of the sun. I assumed it was Nibiru, but he could be coming out of a stargate. You know, the stargates are in the sun.
That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
That may be.
Absolutely.
Because the first time I had thought that he said. I mean, I thought that it had come for me, but it was like, you know, it was like a warning to say stop, don't say anything else to anyone. So in my waking days, I stopped telling people stuff.
Well, were you telling?
Some of them don't say, huh?
Were you telling people things?
And you know what? Yeah, I'm around a lot my family and things, and I, like, sometimes when I hear some things, I have to, like, tell them, you know what, this is my opinion, it doesn't work like that, and da. So after that, I kind of stopped, because most of my family are church-going people.
Oh,
some of them.
okay.
So, like, whenever I'm bombarded with, you know, certain topics, I try to, like, excuse myself, but then sometimes I can't. So I'm like, you know, I'm very opinionated, and I, like, say stuff, and it just comes out, and I just tell them, like, you know what, well, you know what, I don't believe in those things anymore. I can't believe in those things anymore because I'm not allowed to believe in. I can't believe them anymore because when I hear them, I can just know that it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So I figured that was what I was doing a lot, so I kind of, like, you know, scaled back. And I...
Very good. He's just telling you not to speak to it. You know, it's like trying to beat a dead horse. It's like speaking to the totally asleep. You could talk to them all day, but they're asleep. You know what I mean? I agree with him. It's unnecessary. When they're thirsty, they will come to where they can get quenched, their thirst quenched, and you're the person they would get that from. So it's unnecessary to share them. Certain things, their consciousness is not able to even, you know, be able to take that information. You know, they're just not in that.
Yes.
I love that.
And you know what? Before 2014, I know I was like onto something, and then I remember when my mother died.
I'm sorry.
I remember my mother died, like,
I'm sorry.
yeah, and then I wasn't crying, I wasn't rejoicing, but I was like, okay, this is it now, it's time for me to, and like immediately that she died, I remember like a few days after, she came to me, and I'm like, oh my word.
I love it.
And I couldn't even tell my relatives that she came.
well, I could tell one sister that she came by, and they were all they were worried about me, and because of certain things, they were worried about me, and then they were like, "How come you're not crying?" And I'm like, it was the first time I told them that I can't cry. Because funny thing, my mom and I talked like this September, and she told me that, you know what, this is it. And I'm like, how do you know that you're going to die? And she said, I know, I feel different. I feel different. This is not how I used to feel. And we talk about, so when she died now, it wasn't like I didn't miss her, but I couldn't do the whole mourning. And since then, it's like, I used to think that I'm not too empathetic about certain things. But then...
No,
Yeah.
don't judge yourself so harshly. What island are you from? What island are you from?
Pardon me?
What island are you from? What island?
Jamaica.
Jamaica, okay. So, okay.
Yes.
Jamaicans have a certain specific quality genetically. Now, I've studied genetics and heredity. And what it is what every single island has in common, especially next to the islands closest to Jamaica, the natives have a unique quality. That's what made them the most wonderful warriors, is that they're not super emotional. They don't have the same...
No, I'm not.
Yes. Yeah, and I can say this with great confidence because it is a quality that's genetically based. So when people meet people from Jamaica, especially if they're native a couple of generations in Jamaica, maybe 3 or 4 generations in Jamaica has this quality, St. Martin has this quality, some in Bahamas have this quality. It is one of the base qualities that come with the Caribs. It's a form of being non-emotional. It's a latent quality that shows up overtly. Let me just say that.
Okay.
So when people meet Jamaicans and they say, "Oh wow, they're lovely people and so on," but they're not emotionally driven, it's because it's a genetic quality. Every genetics has its own quality. So I just want to say that. So don't judge yourself. It's a genetic quality that's not necessarily negative. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, even thinking that, oh boy, this is not, it's not working out for me. That the people think that, how can you say things like that? And then I realized, okay, I need to stop saying things like these, because I don't want to burst anybody's bubble or get them upset about certain things, because I know that I see now since lately that it's like it can divide you, and it will divide. It will divide.
Yes.
A lot of things.
I think it's unnecessary to share with them. They're at their level of spirituality, and we can't judge them. You're at another.
Yeah.
Your mother came to see you because she knew she could. And also, that's why you didn't mourn her, because she really didn't leave.
No.
You understood that she's just in another state of being. Her spirit, energy doesn't dissipate. It just relocates, okay, or changes its form. You saw her.
Okay.
You know she's there.
Yeah.
That's all that's necessary. How people deem or how they think about how you mourn your mother or don't mourn your mother, that has to do with them. That has zero to do with you.
Yeah, but now it's different, and I'm excited. I'm excited every day that I wake up. I'm excited, and sometimes I'm like, okay, why am I this excited? But
Because it's exciting time. Why should you? Yes, if you're waking up excited, it's exciting times. Yes, you should be excited. I'm excited for you being excited. Yes.
I know it is. It's just an exciting time to actually see and actually see and know some of the stuff. I sometimes I can't wait to go to sleep at night.
Yes.
It's like sometimes I'm downloaded with so many things.
Yes, you get to travel back home. A lot of times you get to travel back home with your Martian friends. I have a feeling you have a connection to the Martians. If you think anything odd about this, I would suggest you read the book by Arlene and Shirlene. What's her last name? It's called From the Motherland to the Mothership. Arlene and Shirlene. Oh gosh, is their last name Wallace? And the book is called From the Motherland to the Mothership. Read the book.
Mothership.
Yes, these are two twin.
Make a note of that.
Two twin women of color. who were in contact with Martians, and it was a huge melanin dominant. There's a huge melanin dominant colony on Mars, and they're one of a few people I know who are in contact with the Martians. The Martians are also connected to the Moors. So you might actually have blood lineage from the Moors. The actual Moors are the Martians. They're interconnected.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh boy.
So
It's a nice talk here.
Shirlene and Charlene Wallace. I think that's the name. Shirlene and Charlene Wallace. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm definitely going to go. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you
Peace.
so much. And another thing, I have been added to Cypher, but I don't know if this is anything. I did not get a questionnaire. I was added to Cypher, but somehow I don't get any notifications or anything from, I didn't get a questionnaire, so I figured it was like, maybe because I didn't get a questionnaire, but I haven't.
Did you fill out a questionnaire from? Did you go to Cypher admins page?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, so
But somehow,
if you
but
should,
after that,
oh, I'm sorry. If you want, go to Cypher admins page, FleurBrun Cypher admins page on Facebook, because our group is hidden. You can go through them and see if you can fill out, because obviously we go through a process. If you were in Cypher, already? We can just chat.
Yes, I have been. I know I have been added. I know I sent you a friend request like some year ago.
Okay.
Well, but then Cypher, I don't remember if someone sent me a friend request or if I did it, but then I know that I was added. So I just saw the notification that.
What's your name? I have my admin, Sensei's on. I have my admin on. So what's your name?
Oh, my name is Correct Porter.
What is it?
Just on Facebook.
What is it? What's
Correct Porter. On Facebook.
Porter? Okay. Sensei, you have that? Because Sensei will check to see if you're on there.
Okay.
But if anything, go to the admins page. Anything as far as going on Cypher or anything that has to do with anything on Cypher, go to the admins page so we can address it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Love you, love. Enjoy your travels.
Okay.
Happy travels.
I will.
Tell your people on Mars. Tell them holla. Holla. All right. Okay, peace.
Okay,
Peace.
bye-bye.
Peace. Okay, family. I would take more callers, but I want to enjoy my 11. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I want to say thank you for all the 11 donations. I think somebody else had hold on. I want to get back to the C Star who made a donation initially, who had a question. Hold on. Thank you so much for, thank you so much. Hold on, I'm going down comments. Here we go. Okay, the question from Harmonious Queen. I have some very interesting pictures I took recently. I'd love for you to see them. Weird clouds and possible portal. Thank you. Harmonious, please send me the pictures. I would love it. Thank you, Harmonious Queen. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you from Supreme Third Eye for an 11 donation. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you from Andre Wilson for the donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I want to say thank you for joining. Listen, we enjoyed our 11 time together, and I say extend this celebratory time to others. They don't have to know that, sometimes they think we were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If you start saying, listen, it's 11, some people are not ready for that. But I say you enjoy your day, enjoy your celebration. Alien Aquarian says the fleur de lis symbolic origins with French monarchs may stem from the baptismal lily used in the crowning of King Clovis L. Alan Aquarian, you thebomb.com. Thank you so much. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys give me so much credit, but I can't take the credit. Look at this beautiful person. Alien Aquarius got the information. All of you are so astute in the things that you know and researching. I can't take credit for 90% of the things because a lot of this has to do with our interaction with one another. So thank you so much for that information. But I do have to go. Add FleurBrun Cypher on FB. Yes, if you want to go to FleurBrun, if you want to try to come on to FleurBrun Cypher, our Cypher Bigots of Cypher crew, who's always on here. We have sharing all day. You get to see my lives online. So through Cypher, so you can contact FleurBrun Cypher on FB, because you know our group is secret. It's almost like a mystery school. You can't find it until you go through secret squirrel locations and try to do a questionnaire to try to get in. So anyway, you can always join us on Cypher. I so appreciate everyone. I'm so grateful to know some of the most beautiful, mystical, magical people as yourselves. I appreciate your support. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this 11, 11, 11. This is a once in a lifetime, well, this lifetime, a lifetime. Let's enjoy it. Have some good food. I have some pineapple and olives. I'm about to go have my, listen, I made, and oh, for those who keep asking me for recipes, I will do one recipe on this totally, which is my, what is it called? My Irish moss drink. I'm going to do a live here, but then I'm going to do every Tuesday on Patreon. I'm going to do one of my raw recipes, so you get to see that too. And I'm going to do, I'll show you how to make peanut butter cups, because I won't do the chocolate that has soy. So I've learned how to make a raw peanut butter cups. And if you want to know how I make that, I'm actually going to do that Tuesday on Patreon. And I'm about to have one now, because I've been craving chocolate. And I make raw peanut butter cups, and they are the bomb.com. Oh yes, honey. I'm about to enjoy and indulge and know that there's no caloric intake, and it's all natural, GMO free, and raw, just frozen. All right. I love you, family. Have a wonderful 11/11. Enjoy. Join us on Cypher if you're there. Have have wonderful dreams. Get in contact with your galactic family, your interterrestrial family, and we shall contact each other later. And all those from the West Coast, be careful. I send you a lot of love and protection, and the dragons are here, burning up North California. Stay clear and stay righteous. All right, peace. Mwah.